You know that feeling? When you're in a relationship that just leaves you completely confused, totally drained, maybe even questioning your own reality? Well, we're going to dig into a source today that lays out some really powerful warnings to help make sense of that whole dynamic. So let's get right into it because, figuring out the rules of the game is really the only way you can decide to stop playing.
Okay, wow. Right out of the gate, this quote, it just hits you, doesn't it? Competing for oxygen. I mean, let that sink in for a second. This isn't about two people being partners. No, this is about competition, plain and simple. From their point of view, it's like there's only so much happiness, so much success, so much air to go around. And if you get some, that means less for them. It sets the stage for this constant, exhausting battle that you just can't win.
So if we're talking about a game, you got to ask, what are the rules? Well, the thing is, this is a game that's rigged from the start. It's designed so you can't win. Let's pull back the curtain on the tactics they use, the methods of control and deception that keep them on top. Okay, this is a really key point. Think about this. It's not just that they manipulate you to get something, it's that the act of successfully manipulating you, that's what actually makes them happy. It's the reward. It's like they're a puppeteer, and seeing you dance on their strings gives them this huge rush of satisfaction. And that, right there, is why it never, ever stops. And here is the absolute masterclass in their cruel logic. It's a devastating 1-2 punch. First, they do everything in their power to knock you down, to chip away at your confidence, to make you feel weak. And then, once you're down, they point at you and blame you for being weak. It's this perfect, vicious circle that's designed to make you think you're the one with the problem. We usually think people lie for a reason, right? To get out of trouble, to get something they want. But this is different. For them, lying is just breathing. It's automatic. It's constant. And that's why trying to have a gotcha moment with them is just a waste of your energy. You catch them in one lie and they'll just exhale another one. It's that effortless. Okay, so we've looked at the playbook, right? The tactics. But what's the actual impact of all this? What does it do to a person over time? Well, it's not pretty. It's a slow, steady erosion of who you are. I mean, look at this comparison. It's just so powerful. Think about who you were before, full of life, energy, strength, a wild, fast, and strong horse. And then, after being in this dynamic, what's left? A frail specter, a ghost of who you used to be, where all your energy is just focused on trying to find the exit door. It's a heartbreaking transformation. And this is the end game. This is the ultimate prize for them. It's not enough to control what you do. They want to control how you feel about yourself. The goal is to get their voice inside your head, to make you believe all the terrible things they say, until you become your own biggest critic. Essentially, they want to outsource the job of destroying you to you. So what does this feel like, on a Tuesday? It's not some big dramatic explosion. It's this slow, quiet drain. Your energy just disappears. You can't focus on anything. There's this constant fog of confusion, and you start questioning everything, especially yourself. You're just living in this vague, uncertain world all the time. It's absolutely exhausting. So how do they create all this confusion and uncertainty? A huge piece of the puzzle is how they talk. Their words aren't for communication. Nope, they're weapons. And they're designed specifically to keep you completely off balance. So let's crack the code on this language of deception. All right, let's talk about double messages. This is a classic tool in their toolbox. You probably know it as the backhanded compliment. It's that comment that sounds nice at first, but there's a little sting in the tail. It's crafted so perfectly that if you get upset, you look like the one who's too sensitive. But you both know it was an insult. And what's the point of all those double messages? It's this, right here. It's to get you to a place where you are so confused, you literally don't know if they love you or hate you from one minute to the next. You're constantly on this emotional roller coaster, the state of whiplash, never ever feeling stable or sure of where you stand. Here's another way they mess with your head. They almost never just say what they mean. It's all hints and suggestions and talking in circles. They have this little attitude like, well, an intelligent person would get it. And this is a brilliant, sneaky move because, one, it makes you do all the work of figuring them out, and two, it gives them an escape hatch. If you call them on it, they can just say, whoa, I never said that. You're the one making things up.
So where does this all end? What happens when the game gets old for them or when they feel like they've gotten everything they can out of you? Well, that brings us to the final move in their playbook, and it might just be the cruelest one of all. the replacement.
And listen, they don't just move on to someone new. Oh no. There's a very specific, very deliberate pattern here. They often find a replacement that, in one way or another, could be seen as being of lesser status. And this is not an accident. There's a cold, hard calculation behind this choice. So why do they do this? Let's be clear. It has nothing to do with love. It's all a power play. Picking someone lesser is meant to be the final insult, the ultimate way to devalue you. It screams, look, I can replace you with anyone, and I'm still the one on top. It's about control. It's about being the center of attention. And honestly, it's about the thrill of a new challenge, a new victim to conquer.
So when you put all of this together, the mind games, the lies, the constant wearing you down, you're left with one really painful conclusion. Any attempt to please them, to make it work, to fix it, it's all completely, utterly useless.
And this is what that useless chase looks like in action. It's a cycle. Step 1. You feel them pulling away. So what do? You run after them, trying to please them. But step 2, the harder you run towards them, the faster they run away. It's like a mirage in the desert. The closer you think you're getting, the further away it moves, until finally, you're just left exhausted, in the middle of nowhere, chasing absolutely nothing.
And that quote just says it all, doesn't it? That's the core tragedy of this whole thing. It was never about how fast you ran or how hard you tried. The problem was the destination itself. It was never real. All that energy, all that effort you poured in, it was for something that wasn't even there to begin with. And so, we're left with this one last really important question. It completely flips the script. Instead of focusing on them, it brings the focus right back to you. If you accept that the whole chase is just a mirage, that it's an illusion, then the only sane thing to do is to stop running. And then the real question becomes, what happens then? What can you discover when you finally stand still?